Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I've got an update on what I'm going to do with the 51 Ford bed. I've changed my mind from using just a Kusa board, but I'm going to use something a whole lot nicer, and I think it's going to turn out good. I just made a run to go to the lumber yard up in Fallston, Maryland, and they've got everything: oak, maples, cherry, black walnut. So let me show you what I picked. So I made a measurement on the bed. It's 49 inches by 78 inches. Went up to the lumber yard, and this is what I picked. Black maple, or black walnut, I'm sorry, black walnut. It is beautiful. They had red oak, white oak, but I think with clear on this, it's gonna really turn out pretty nice. So let me get the car unloaded. I couldn't fit it all underneath the foot well on the front seat because these pieces are, I think these were 9-footers. So I'm going to unload it and kind of lay it out, see how width-wise and orientation would look best. So I just laid these out for now. We've got to get the edges sort of lined up where we're going to be making cuts. Try to make it symmetrical. So the center, I think, and I have to measure this. I think I ended up with 50 some inches wide. Let me get a tape measure and I'll check. Okay, so we overbought, and I really only needed 49-inch total width. We've got about 57 and a half, 57. But what we're gonna do is end up cutting out this. We're gonna rip the board and cut out that one knot. So we've got to make this other board symmetrical with it. The other boards, there's a couple small knots, but not bad at all. And with metal strips, we're actually going to gain some width. So double checking, and the guys at the sawmill are great. All right, so the shortest board, like I said, we needed 7 to 8 inches finished, and we have 83. So we can, slide the board forward or back to get rid of any unneeded or unwanted knots. Maybe, this one up here, slide it up and cut it off here. So that's about it. I think the next step is going to be looking for the metal strips that are going to be going slats between each board, and then that gets fastened down onto the frame of the bed of the truck. And I believe I'm going to get the unfinished, maybe just plain steel slats, and paint them instead of getting the bright stainless. Kind of keeping it, more of a muted look. So I might just go with a painted slat. They're a little bit cheaper, and I've got to, paint it, but I think it's going to look pretty good. Well, I finished cutting all of our boards to length, and I also ripped them. So we've got, it's symmetrical, and I think there's going to be 7, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of wood. And this is the centerpiece right here. I couldn't cut out enough of these little, I don't know what they're called, but anyway, they're going to be fine. The other pieces are pretty clear. We've got one knot right there that will take care of, but it adds a little bit of character. So this black walnut is really nice stuff. Now the next step is I cut, like I said, I cut to length to match the 90 or the 49 inches widthwise and 78 inches lengthwise. The metal strips are due to come in today, be delivered. And what I'm going to do is I will paint them this black cherry color, the same as the box. So that will match, and put clear on it. And then I will use, hopefully I can find polished stainless steel, but they're going to be at least stainless steel hardware that will fasten down the strips. And before I can do any of that, I've got to get square tubing and make a frame, because the frame is going to be elevated higher than a normal bed. So that frame's got to be built. I've got to go down to this metal supplier, and I have to decide if I'm going to make a hinged part of this bed. And if I do, it'll probably be these 3 middle slats that will fold up, because my gas tank filler is right, it's right here. This is the tailgate. It's right there. So it's either going to be folded up that way. I don't necessarily have to access anything back in the back of the bed, although there is a flat spot there that I'm going to put. I will use that Cusa board that's back here, and I'm going to put that down on the bottom of the bed, or bottom of the truck. So for possible storage, but that's going to be kind of maybe just tools. I doubt if I'm going to be able to fit a spare tire, because this height is kind of narrow. It's only 7 inches. So, 7 inches from the bottom of the lip on the box. The frame of the truck is just a little bit lower, but it's still not deep enough. So it's just going to be small tools. So that's where we're at today. The other thing I'm going to be working on is measuring new wheels for the back, and that is in order to lift the back edge of the truck up somewhat. I had this wheel, it's 15-inch rim, and I forget what it is, it's a 235. I don't see it. That's a 225 60 15-inch. What I bought is a 31 by 10.5 by 15-inch wheel and rim. So this tire is substantially taller, and that's the height that I need to lift the back end of the truck up. So that was the option that I'm going to attempt to do. Now the problem could be is if I go here, you can see that this new tire wheel is a little bit wider than this wheel, but not substantially. The one thing is that is probably going to happen is the inside of the wheel well. This is the outside of the box. I think may have to add a spacer on here, but I'm going to fit this on and try this wheel. I haven't painted it yet. It's going to be painted this midnight black, just like the running board and the fenders of the truck, and put clear on it. So before I do that, I just want to make sure that it's going to work. So the way I'm going to measure to see if we have enough clearance against the outside edge of the box is I can measure on the existing wheel, and I think that's 4 3/4 to the bottom edge of the lip of the rim. That's 4 3/4. On this new wheel, it is close to 5 1/4. And when it's maybe a little bit more than 5 1/4. So this wheel is not going to work without putting a spacer in, and so that will, I'm hoping, get the clearance on the inside of the wheel. And at the same time, I need to make sure we have clearance here on this, on the outside of the fender. I think that's going to work. I didn't measure, the gap between the, the existing wheel and the fender, but let me just try to set this wheel up there, and I'll get a better idea if it's going to work or not. If it doesn't work, well, back to square one and maybe use a different tire. I don't know. Certainly taller, that's for sure. I was concerned that I wouldn't be able to get this wheel in here. I'm hoping it's going to go. It's taller and heavier. Oh boy, it is not going to go. I think what I might have to do in order to get this wheel on is drop the leaf spring and or jack the truck up a lot higher than it is. I don't know that this is just it's not going to work. Oh boy. Well, come on, let me try it from the bottom. Put the bottom edge in first. I don't have my hopes up here. No. Oh, if I could get it into that wheel well, I think it would work, and then with a spacer. This is a no-go. It is not going on. What a pain to drop the leaf spring. I'd rather not have to do that. And if I take the air out of this tire, I think these sidewalls are so stiff, I can't even squash it enough to get it under there. Let me see how bad is it again. Problem is clearing the axle, and this width of the fender, the wheel opening for the fender, is just too small. So we just have to drop the axle lower. But I think for now I'm going to punt and put this idea on the back burner. Unfortunately, I haven't given up yet. Where there's a will, there's a way. What I did was I jacked the truck up very high. I just finished deflating the tire, and I can get the tire in the well. Now, the question is, how much room is between the outer fender, the inner fender, fender part of the box, which I know I'm gonna have to put a spacer in here. But let's see if this goes on, and I made it on here. I'm happy that I got this far. Let's see, these were 4 1/4 lug spacing. And did I say this wheel is heavy? If I didn't, it's heavy. I'll say it again. And for an old guy, I can barely muscle this up there. Oh, shit. All right, let me see. I'll put some blocks of wood to help hold it up there. Maybe you can get it without him. Oh, shoot. I think that's the right location. Yep, there it is. Wow. We still have plenty of room here. Let's check the inside of the bed. So the tire is currently deflated, but I could get the wheel all the way onto the rotor. But when I inflate it, I'm afraid it's going to bulge out too much. And I don't know if you can tell from this angle. Let me try to get the camera over here a little bit better. Sorry if I'm really jumping around. Between my finger and this is the inner box. There's the tire. With that inflated, that is going to definitely rub. But let me inflate it, and we'll see how much of a spacer we'll need here. I think there's enough thread. Where are my lugs? I'm hoping I don't have to do anything special with these lugs. All right, let me just see. Let me go turn the air compressor on, and we'll see how much bulge we get. I aired them up to about 32 pounds. It doesn't bulge out. We've got 3, maybe 3.5 fingers worth of gap here. We have more than enough. But on the back side, it's rubbing on this part and this part. And I'm not going to put wheel tubs in here for sure. That is just not going to happen. Luckily, on the passenger side, I've got about a finger's worth of a gap. So what I might attempt to do, or maybe just put a spacer over there, probably, I don't know. We can measure this gap. We'll measure this gap, try to get the two equal. But it's probably going to be about a finger's worth of a spacer. So I don't know if I'm going to just get one made or buy a set. Maybe I can buy a set of 1/4 inch. We have more than enough thread here. We've got a 1/4 inch of thread, and these aren't even cranked down. So even if we put a 1/4 inch in there, that might bring it out enough. And if not, add a second one for a 1/2 inch or something like that. So there you have it with the wheels. I'm going to take this one off, and we're going to paint it the same as the original wheels. As far as, I'll lower it and see if we have any problems. I don't think we're going to have any problems of the wheel pushing up into the top of the wheel well. I think we've got plenty of space there. You can see that we have plenty of space in here, and we've got miles of space there. So yeah, I'll end this with the wheels and get back on the wood bed. I moved everything over here. We're gonna start to sand it, and I'm gonna wait for the metal strips to come. We'll prep those for paint at the same time we paint them. Immediately clean your equipment right after you finish your last coat. So we put on, I don't know, 2 or 3 coats of color, which is brilliant black metallic, and that's the same color as the fenders on the truck and running board and the other wheels. And then we put on, I guess it was 3, maybe 4 coats of clear pretty quickly. We put in just a little bit of slow reducer, and because it is very hot and humid out here, so you know the paint's going to react, and solvents will burn off pretty quickly. So I guess it was probably, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes between coats. Maybe a little bit sooner in some cases, but yeah. All right, so make sure you get your equipment using lacquer thinner and just an old coffee can. Get them soaked really well. And the breeze is starting to. Let me put something on this plastic to hold it over. Really soak everything. And then final wipe down before we reassemble the gun. And then we'll run a little bit of lacquer thinner through the gun again, just to get any remnants out of there. So I was able to do the bottom side of the wood slats. I painted them, and then I put some clear on just to protect them. And then after they dry and when I'm ready, I'm going to paint the top side of the bed, those straps, black cherry, the same color as the box of the truck. So that will be matching. Let's see, we need a little pin to go through the tip. And I have a set of pins of different sizes. And just run a little thing through the tip. And then all the other holes. But I think that lacquer thinner really cleans things out pretty well. All right, that's that. Now it's just time to clean up this mess and bring these wheels inside. Well, it's been a few months since we worked on getting these wheels on the 51 Ford pickup, but I got sidetracked with this other project, the 57 Chevy wagon. So I just wanted to get this video wrapped up and show you that these wheels really turned out pretty good. I think they're going to go down the road nice. I haven't gotten the truck registered yet, but I will be in the near future. I think the truck is ready for the road for sure. I still have to do a few odds and ends. I've got to finish the wood bed, which I showed you earlier. I do have a Tony cover that I can put on this, but if it's out in the heat, it's a black Tony cover and it will droop because it's vinyl, but that's okay. The truck has been undercover and it's gotten dusty even though the cover's on, and the cover is absolutely filthy with dust just because of the work that we were doing on the 57 Chevy wagon. But I just wanted to finish this up. The wheels are looking really nice. Originally, I wanted to have them white color, but I think it just looks so much better with these black steelies and beauty rings with Moonies on. I just like that look, and I think the truck overall looks really good. So anyway, wanted to thank you for hanging in there with me, and we'll do some more work on the 57 Chevy, but we're still not 100% finished with the truck. So, all right, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.